Hello, Klassje.
It's always good to see you.
He cracks a weary smile, leaning back against the railing. The Hardy Boys told us what really happened.
I understand.
She puts her coffee mug on the table.
Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight.
You don't look surprised you were expecting this. You sent us on a runaround. You lied to us, miss. Chill, I'm the cool cop, remember? You don't look surprised.
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police.
Yeah, but I'm also the cop of the apocalypse, so I could have just totally messed that up.
For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
Winces.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two. Then move on to questions. No, it's not good. It's the opposite of that. This will let her dictate the terms of your...
Yeah, the thing is, thoughts are compromised, so do I trust volition or do I trust rhetoric?
Shush, I can't hear what she's saying. Let the miss speak. She's tall and thin and tired. A twig trying so hard not to break.
If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our time?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
That's not a good enough reason. Cool, I'm satisfied with this explanation. That's not really a good enough reason.
You're right. There's more.
Or?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
He reaches for a new cigarette.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon, golden grey in the noonlight.
What lies beyond it?
The Pearl, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Oranje, the old, old world.
Is that why you're looking over your shoulder? You're afraid of the moral intern? What's the RCM's involvement with the moral intern got to do with this? The RCM isn't the lapdog of the moral intern, you don't have to worry. Is that why you're looking over your shoulder?
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
Is this part of why Oranje is a bad memory for you? Has this got something to do with you being Miss Oranje 37? What's going on? What did you do? Is this why it's a bad memory?
I have people after me. And they have friends in the moral intern. Some are moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will.
What happens if they do?
What'd you expect, Kim?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Well, unless you can clarify and tell us that now, then we can't really trust that. That's complete. Get the whole story from Titus.
Here we go. For once, you seem to have her off guard. Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
Mm-hmm. What did you do to have these people after you? What happened here the night he died? Why did you call the cops if you're hiding? When was window changed? What did you do?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Revachol, or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
He taps on his notebook. Now this is the problem. If Kim writes it down, then that is effectively having her be in the moral intern mill. But we could also take the notes but not include her name.
The job was Lou's-Douen County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou-Scop conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them.
I don't know.
As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too, along with Lou-Scop and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Run the run.
Lowe's Cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
Papalolo. I'm sure there are people who have done much worse than that. Serves them right. When I'm king, this savings bank will be the first against the wall. You're right, this is bad. You destroyed what people have built. That's a lot of shit you've gotten yourself into. Okay, so this is kind of obvious. This is blaming her. I'm not sure I'm gonna say that I will be king and distribute the wealth. There are people who have done much worse than that, but again, that's kind of obvious. I want to know what Papalolo's about.
Yeah. Papa fucking Lolo wants to kill me.
Okay. Alright. I'm sure there are people who've done much worse.
Sure. I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people, too, not just C-suite.
Well, at least the C-suite were involved, because, you know, what happens otherwise? They say heads will roll, but then there's actually no accountability for them.
A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
What happened here the night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could...
See the bullet?
A great pain moves through her, a dark and indefinite wave. She continues in spite of it.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me.
Then what happened? You don't have to continue if you don't want to. No, we need to know. What happened?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs.
There's a long pause. She just stands there, her arms at her sides.
I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Your cigarette, miss? I'm sorry this happened to you. Are you sure you're not making this up? Shake your head. That's a motherfucker. Just nod. We're going to need more detail. Yeah, let her know about the cigarette.
Oh.
He looks at it and quickly tosses the butt aside. I'm sorry this happened to you.
So am I.
He immediately proceeds to light another one.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Yes.
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Titus said you looked pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset.
I don't know about that.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No,
What did you do then?
nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
What happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full.
So a gunshot went off and there were a lot of people in the Whirling in Rags, but no one heard it?
Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
So Ruby is the 8th Hardy boy.
Ruby?
Before we continue, who's Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
Ah, see, we knew Titus wasn't the leader
The leader? Of what?
of the Hardy Boys.
The Hardy Boys.
He says as if it's self-evident. Yes, it is. I thought Titus Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
Yeah, well, you know, that's why Ruby's not here.
Would you say she is the 8th Hardy Boy?
Why not?
Does she also party with Ruby, however?
Did you party with Ruby too?
No.
She smiles nervously, the beads of her teeth shine.
Still, there is something there. She won't tell you now.
Okay, let's go on. What then?
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
What kind of belt?
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
This is concurrent with your doubts at the autopsy about the coloring being.
I knew it. The colouring in his lower limbs looked faint.
About half an hour had passed since the moment of death.
She nods.
You were late. The marks would be faint by that time.
He makes a small pointing motion with his pen. It's meant for you. Yeah, alright, Kim.
In honor of another precise forensic observation. You have it in you to be a champion. Keep your head in the game now.
Yeah, healing back stuff because we're correct. Then what did you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do, make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
What did you do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while, that we should lay low or something, so I did.
By laying low, you just kind of stayed in the hotel room. This Ruby, where is this Ruby now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
New task, make Titus give up Ruby's location.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later. What are you doing?
What's wrong, Volition?
Coming up with a theory. She said Ruby knew something was wrong before she said anything. How come? It was loud downstairs. She couldn't have heard the shot. It is ominous. You already coming up with theories that put the blame on someone other than Klassje.
This is a very compelling story, and I'm not entirely sure why Klassje would make it up. When it happened, did you hear a gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
Well, there was already a point made by one of the thoughts to say that it could have been from across the coast, which would imply it was like a sniper rifle of anything. And of course, you're not going to hear a shot from that far away, so... Alright, we've got a question here. Did you kill Lely? I mean, that's a bit of a weird one to ask, but... Fidgeted people after you've killed him? Why did you call the cops? When was window changed? I think we're done. I'm going to ask this anyway, just because I want to see what she says. Did you kill Lely?
What? Why would I put myself through this? Insanity. Get myself cornered like this.
There's a silence.
He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never hurt him.
All kinds of crazy things happen when drugs are involved. Sweet, sweet drugs.
Electrochemistry's not wrong.
It could have been a desire murder. Maybe an act of jealousy.
That doesn't make sense for Klassje to do it. It would be for Titus to do it.
He was a serviceman. He must have had a gun lying around. close to her hand, a military weapon using jacketed ammunition. Now you guys suddenly have theories pouring out, when they're obviously just stabs in the dark.
Mm-hmm. Downstairs, people have this crazy idea that you killed him. It's okay if you did it in self-defense. Desires drive people loco. Drugs were an integral part of your relationship, perhaps they contributed to its end. He must have had a weapon nearby, did you use that? Okay, I'd like to ask some other questions. He must have had a weapon nearby, did you use that?
No. I specifically asked him not to carry firearms when he was with me. He only had his stupid armor.
The bullet in his head, it was jacketed, military grade. Who else here has a military rifle?
I don't know. His friends have rifles. Maybe those psychos did it. Coalition military have rifles. I'm not a munitions expert, and I did not shoot him.
She might have been a tad disingenuous when she avoided talking about the bullet in his head before. Look who's waking up from 1,000 years of sleep.
I like that. Volition's like, yes, thank you, drama, the thought that tells me whether people are lying or not. You've lied to me about the bullet before. When I said he was shot, you said you're confused.
I've said I'm sorry. What more do you want me to say? I did my best not to lie. It didn't always work.
Alright, all of these options are... Well, do we just say these options to get more info? I think we kind of do, right? Because... Yeah, let's go through these options and just see what she says, because it could give us some useful info, and if we're just talking from a gameplay thing, it might give us more XP as well. It's okay if you did it in self-defense.
I did not kill him to defend myself from rape. I told you before. That wasn't what happened.
True, sire. 'Tis true.
Okay, thanks, drama. Downstairs, people think you killed him.
I'm sad to hear that. They must have said it in some fit of frustration or under pressure. They couldn't have meant it. I've talked to them after it happened. No one has implicated me.
She's getting scared now of you, the downstairs people, all of it.
Drugs were an integral part of your relationship. Perhaps they contributed to its end.
What does that mean?
Do drugs make you aggressive?
No. People don't take drugs to kill each other. They take them to feel okay with each other.
It kind of depends on the drug, doesn't it?
I thought Revachol would be more enlightened about this. Especially since you've taken them yourself.
I mean, yeah.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
Whoa, do I have a look about me?
It's not one of respect. You may want to add a clever retort to this one.
I don't. Me and my drugs are none of your business. I do drugs to keep working cleaning up this shit you've created here. Clever retort. Say nothing. Me and my drugs are none of your business. I do drugs to keep working cleaning up the shit you've created here. Clever. I'm gonna go with clever retort. Why not?
She looks at you, confused.
Uh-huh.
The lieutenant shares her confusion. Respond with something professional. Now.
Alright, I don't think I need to ask this one about Loco, so there's some other questions.
Like what?
She waits, her light brown eyes wandering over the floor and over your face. Could the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
And?
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone.
She looks at a cigarette.
So they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
Maybe it did, it probably didn't. Either way, something to consider. The fact that it was only one shot implies, yes, it was nothing to do with Klassje. So it probably didn't.
Or, I don't know anything anymore. All I do is wait here.
He looks at the table.
We can't go after loose cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. But there's one thing I know, is that you'll get nothing from there.
Why did you call the cops if you're hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
The answer comes fast.
Which is an indicator of truth. Idiot. She's nothing of the sort.
So you'd have us believe, but you're not. I don't think so. Why did you do it? I'm not going to disagree with you. I don't think so. Why did you do it?
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him.
Yep, that's Kuno for you. That is a good point. The bureaucrat saw the hanging as well, and he didn't even report it.
Her jaw is clenched. Her throat moves. It takes all her strength not to cave in and sob. Once. Just one time.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Revachol.
It won't be.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible. Oh God. That was a lie too. Who made the call?
Okay, well, thanks for keeping us on track, Volition.
She did, of course.
Oh. Huh? What? It's interesting, because you would have thought the intellect ones, your capacity to reason, would be the ones that would help to figure it out. But no, it's psyche, the power to influence yourself and others, and is, ostensibly my weakest aspect. That is, the thing that is helping me to actually figure things out. But also, volition is fairly high as well.
Don't be paranoid, man. It's unbecoming of a police officer, and it makes you sweat.
Uh-huh. When was the window changed?
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it. I told you I'm a horrible girl. I told you things break around me.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there.
In a bedroom inside?
Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
Okay, I think we're done here for now.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands.
The lieutenant glances at you, then at the door.
He's thinking, are we done here? Or should we arrest her? She's a flight risk and she lied to you. She should be taken into custody.
Okay, so this is the dilemma. Do we arrest her because she could disappear entirely and hope that she goes into something like witness protection or just is in safe custody? But then once there is an actual record of her arrest, then they know where she is and they will find her? Or do we let her go and live her life? I don't know.
No, that won't be necessary. Just leave her alone. She's been through enough. She doesn't need this police brutality.
I think the fact that Volition is questioning, so should we arrest her, makes me feel like it would be the right decision not to.
This guy won't budge. You have to wake Multiface up, forcefully, if you want to continue pushing her.
Okay, well, we have a thing. We have a check. Drama check, legendary 14, in God's name, wake up. Drama's 5, but we have a very high chance of passing it because we have +3, manipulating your skill set. +1, clearly lied about the bullet. It was love that did the mercenary in. Klassje lied about making the call, ? And we discussed the secret route. So, let's just give this a go.
Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately, before she further entangles you in her web of lies.
Alright, it sounds like Drama, having just woken up, is overreacting a little bit.
Take it easy. Don't overcompensate with this course correction. Ask questions first. Yes, start at the top. Choose at the bottom. It's how we've always done it. No rush.
Yeah, exactly. Rhetoric knows how we've been playing the game.
See?
Turn to Lieutenant Kim. Why have we not arrested her yet? Devil woman. You know, I think you didn't make that call to the station. Your real name isn't Klassje Mandu. What if I told you you're under arrest, miss? Let's change the subject for the time being. You know, I think you didn't make that call to the station.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
That is the emergency's desk number. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
Anyone could know the number, and that someone coughed, it means nothing.
But I know the time of the call, too. I know I have not been 100% truthful with you, officers. But I am now.
Your real name isn't Klassje Mandu.
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Her voice cracks suddenly, like there's a garrote around her neck. Okay, what? We don't need to do this. Okay, what?
Okay, it's not.
You admit to it. I knew it. Good, you can tell me the truth. Good, you can tell me the truth.
You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it.
She's not lying now. She really is very tired. Her metabolism is failing her. The afterglow of whatever narcotics she's been taking is wearing off.
Was the passport bullshit too? The passport you keep hidden?
No. It's submerged in a plastic buoy on the coast, in the reeds. It just doesn't say Klassje Mandu. It says Anouk Mea Smit.
Anouk Mea Smith.
Falsified documents?
Passport and visa. Given to me by my employer. I can't even use them. My employer probably leaked the name, Mea Smit, to hurt me.
Why would they do that?
I didn't show up to a rendezvous. They don't take that lightly. I didn't show up because I was afraid they'd do something to me. The job was finished. I'm just a liability now.
Yeah, a loose end to be nipped away. Where is this boy?
West of the boardwalk, in the reeds. On the coast there. I put it there when I first arrived. Haven't been there since. I'm not sure I could even find it now. It's useless.
West of the boardwalk in the reeds, we have to check this boy out. Accept the task.
The lieutenant makes a note of it.
New task, inspect Klassje's boy.
You're welcome to it. It's in the reeds northwest of here. Past a broken sewage pipe. Right near the waterline.
Tell me your real name.
It's Katarzyna Elysium.
The smile on her face is timid, almost painfully so. Katarzyna Elysium.
It's a Grad name. Jimsk or Yugo Grad in origin. Not Occidental at all. Smells of motor oil, tiger, economic desolation, and rock music infused alcoholism.
Hold on, Katarzyna Elysium is not an Oranese name, is it? It's not even Muindi, it's Grad.
My parents were Zhimsk immigrants, but I'm nationalized Oranese. All I remember is Oranje. Elysium is my father's name.
Finally we meet, Katarzyna Elysium. I'll keep calling you Klassje. I'll just call you Miss Oranje Disco Dancer. Say nothing. Yeah, well, I like the name Klassje. And Katarzyna Elysium is a very nice name as well. I feel like we should go with the titles. I like this game with its titles, like Tequila Sunset, you're Miss Oranje Disco Dancer.
You can call me whatever you want.
He smiles, too tired to laugh. You're probably not even Miss Oranje 37, are you?
I am. They can never take my sash and my scepter from me.
Yes, they can, for lying.
Okay, enough.
She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.